Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a university hosted an active shooter drill on their campus in an effort to improve emergency response. And as students throughout the region head back to school, local law enforcement are urging drivers to be safe and alert on the roads.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and a happy Tuesday to you, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this August 5th. We are at 5:30 this morning, and it is time for a look at our weather with Megan Dusmall. And Megan, hot, cold, kind of a toss-up depending on your preferences too, I guess.
Yeah, it is kind of a toss-up, especially as we're transitioning from the morning hours to the afternoon, because climatologically speaking, we're a little bit warmer than average this morning, and then we'll be a little bit cooler than average as we head into the later hours of the day. Here's a look at those current temperatures, mainly looking at the mid to upper 60s, some upper 70s as you head towards Monticello, Somerset, and Moorhead. And as you go into the afternoon, well, we'll be looking at the low to mid 80s. Coolest temperatures out there, 75 degrees is that forecast high in Wise. Warmest temperatures will be 85 degrees in Irvin. Now, as we go into that rain chance for the day, we are looking at a little bit of some sprinkles for Wayne and Pulaski County, seeing a little bit more rain being picked up as you travel into Virginia, and the most amount of rain right now situated over our West Virginia counties. We'll continue to see those temperatures warming up, seeing those slight chances of rain and storms throughout the day. High temperatures around that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock time frame. Amelia.
One person is dead after a shooting in East Tennessee. Police in Granger County say they responded just before 10 o'clock Friday evening to a home on Little Valley Road in the Blaine community. Police say 54-year-old Joseph Guy Crisp was the man found dead on the porch with a gunshot wound. Authorities detained a man at the scene, but that person has not been charged. Police in Floyd County say they're investigating a shooting incident from late Friday night. Prestonburg police say 4 people came forward. Each had their car shot on US 23 North near Bull Creek Trade Center. Police believe that it's an isolated incident and called it a poor attempt at a scare tactic prank. Police expect an arrest in the coming days. Prestonburg police say there's no danger to the public, but they have increased patrols in that area. Yesterday, Bellereman University hosted an active shooter drill on their campus in an effort to improve emergency response. It happened between 10 o'clock and noon. First responders were on campus for an active shooter scenario. Emergency vehicles were on scene to make it feel like real life. So if an aggressor is reported on campus, officials know exactly what to do to protect people.
You know, it's always good when you're able to, have a partnership with other agencies, and you can use something that they use every single day, but the first responders may not have seen it. When you use training facilities, those first responders are used to every nook and cranny inside of those. For them to come in blind, and a lot of them had never been in this building, so they didn't know exactly where people could have hid.
The university closed its sports, recreation, and fitness centers for the trainings, and it is expected to reopen today. A Somerset man is facing charges after he was accused of nearly hitting 2 deputies. It happened last Friday on Kentucky 1275 in Wayne County. Police say when they were patrolling the area, Michael Dobbs was speeding on the wrong side of the road. Deputies say they had to leave the road to avoid being hit head-on. Dobbs eventually stopped on the shoulder of Kentucky Highway 1619. He was charged with 2 counts of wanton endangerment. In Laurel County, police say they arrested a man after they found him passed out in a parking lot. It happened last week at a business on Kentucky 552. When police got to the scene, they say they launched an investigation and determined Jerry Brown was under the influence. He was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. The back-to-school supply lists are long and can often come with a hefty price tag for families. So, a hair salon in Pike County wanted to lend a helping hand, or several. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has a look at their Pay What You Can promotion.
It looks really good.
With the pressures of back-to-school preparation weighing on families in Pike County, the professionals at the Hair Loft wanted to help cut the costs for families in need.
Like, our parents can't really afford the financial burden of getting their kids haircuts, and we feel like every kid deserves a fresh haircut for back to school.
Stylist Casey Lewis says she came up with the idea to offer a pay what you can day to get students in the chairs and the hair on the floor.
It is a burden. It's a lot. You know, school clothes, school supplies, shoes, everything that you have to be able to get for your kid to go back to school. It's a lot. And just this little bit that I can do, I feel like is a blessing to be able to do.
So 3 of the hair loft stylists got to work, cutting hair for more than 20 kids.
And we've had some that's paid $5, $10 a kid. We've had some they don't have the money, and we're like, that's fine.
The salon's co-owners say it was a great way to give back to the community they call home.
Just any salon, I feel like this is the least we could do for kids to, have a good haircut or feel good about themselves.
Buzzing about the smiles in each mirror.
It feels amazing. I had a little girl earlier. She was almost in tears because she was so happy with her hair. And I told the other girls in the salon, if I don't do another haircut today, that right there just made my day. That was worth it.
Saying at the end of the day, it is not about the split ends or the fresh fades. It is about the roots.
This is where our roots are, and this is where we need to invest in. This is where we need to give back to.
In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The stylists say the families were appreciative for the event, but it also gave them a renewed appreciation for what they do every day. Well, as those students throughout the region head back to school, local law enforcement are urging you to be safe and alert while driving, especially around school zones and buses. Local sheriffs say it's important to slow down on the road, as one mistake can cost a child's life. According to Kentucky state law, drivers do have to stop for a school bus when the stop arm is extended, no matter what side of the road you're on, unless it's a divided highway.
We urge people that we have zero tolerance. If the bus drivers are really good to get us license plate numbers of the people that does this, and we will look your license plate up and we'll pay you a visit and issue a summons, or if we see you doing it, we'll cite you, or maybe in more severe cases arrest you for doing these things. We take it very serious.
Sheriff Ingalls says it's also a good idea to have a conversation with your children about looking both ways before crossing the street and to be alert at all times. Artificial intelligence is enhancing its capabilities and expanding into different workforces. The question is, could it change your current job? A new study from Microsoft reveals 40 jobs are considered most at risk due to the presence of AI. Some of those jobs could include historians, sales reps, telemarketers, and translators. Researchers consider those workers to be most at risk by the presence of AI.
Most at risk in this case means that it's going to be most exposed to AI assistance. So these people in these professions will need to become familiar with the AI tools and how best to use them in their profession.
So there's really nothing that can replace a teacher. AI is never going to replace a teacher, because that's what you need, is to connect to your students, form relationships, because that's how students learn.
Educators we talked to say AI tech isn't going anywhere. They believe it'll actually assist teachers. One of the largest buildings damaged in May's tornado in southern Kentucky was the South Kentucky RECC headquarters in Somerset. Security camera video showed the twister flipping a truck outside and tearing apart the main building. A dispatcher was inside at the time and survived thanks to a storm-resistant room built with steel-reinforced walls and a concrete roof. The rest of the structure was destroyed. Now, officials say they're working to rebuild on the same site, a process that could take years.
I looked out that door and I could see the wiring and the wood and everything else flying by the door out down the hallway.
The new dispatch room will be reinforced as well, designed to keep employees safe even in extreme weather. Kentuckians know all too well that extreme weather events can often strike fast, forcing people to act quickly. But for the more than 48 million people in the U.S. that are deaf or hard of hearing, there's another challenge added to that process of receiving weather alerts. Alexa Minton tells us more about a statewide program that was initially launched in 2024 called More Safe Nights, and how they're still trying to help Kentuckians that are hard of hearing, one radio at a time.
I've always had a healthy respect for bad weather, so I'd rather be proactive than reactive.
Anita Dowd is the director of the Kentucky Commission for Deaf and Hard of Hearing. She knows firsthand the fear felt during a nighttime severe weather event as someone with a hearing loss.
I couldn't listen to the radio, so I didn't know if I needed to evacuate, if I needed to take cover. It's a very scary place to be.
Emergency managers across the U.S. have multiple ways to communicate information outward to the population. But we also have to remain aware that there are some folks that live in our communities that can't receive those alerts and warnings the way that the masses receive alerts and warnings.
The More Safe Nights program was started in 2024 and named after the late ASL interpreter and hard of hearing advocate Virginia Moore. The program gives Kentuckians with hearing losses weather radios with pillow shakers and strobe lights attached.
They're targeting a population that can't receive these alerts and warnings the way the rest of the population does.
Prior to receiving something like this, the only other thing people have to depend on is auditory.
The program has already distributed 600 radios, with 100 more ready to go and hundreds of applications waiting to be processed. Anita says she has hopes that one day all 700,000 individuals with hearing losses in the state will have a More Weather radio.
I don't know if we will save hundreds of lives. I do know that we will make hundreds of people feel safer. They will be aware earlier and have the information they need to make the decisions they need to make.
I'm First Alert meteorologist Alexa Minton with
WKYT.
Thanks so much.
Transportation cabinet officials say one road will be closed next Monday in Estill County. Kentucky 52 between Beattyville and Irvine will be closed between 8 and 4 on the 11th. Crews will replace a drainage pipe at mile point 20.577. Drivers can use Kentucky 11 or the Mountain Parkway as alternate routes. It's 5:42. After much anticipation, Doechii is making a splash on the radio. That and more in today's IN Entertainment Report.
And temperatures are cool, but we're not to fall yet. I'll have that countdown coming up.